Welcome back to the High Impact Flicks channel. This is the head of Joe Biden's new Ministry of Truth, Nina Jankowicz. She's going to combat what the U.S. government, world record holders for creating and distributing the most disinformation on the planet, considers disinformation and ensure more censorship on the internet. She called Hunter Biden's laptop Russian disinformation. She's the one who said back in March of 2020, anyway, long story short, I think we as a country might be too, free-spirited, to put it diplomatically, to comply with social distancing recommendations unless they are forced upon us. So force away, lock us down. People are not taking this seriously. Well, this Nina Jankowicz has a little song for us.
Laundering is really quite ferocious. It's when a huckster takes some lies and makes them sound precocious by saying them in Congress or a mainstream outlet. So disinformation's origins are slightly less atrocious. It's how you hide a little lie. It's how you hide a little lie. It's how you hide a little lie. When Rudy Giuliani shared bad intel from Ukraine, or when TikTok influencers say COVID can cause pain. They're laundering disinfo and we really should take note and not support their lies with our wallet, voice or vote. Oh, information laundering is really quite ferocious. It's when a huckster takes some lies and makes them sound precocious by saying them in Congress or a mainstream outlet. So disinformation's origin seems slightly less atrocious.
So just to recap, the U.S. government, juggernauts and world record holders for creating and distributing the most misinformation, are going to set up a department headed by this chick dedicated to countering misinformation. And if you think that's a bit strange, well, you're obviously working for evil Putin.
I always feel like somebody's watching me, and I have no privacy.
I've talked a lot about the importance of health on this channel. You could have all the money, fame, and friends in the world, but if you don't have good health, life can be super miserable for you. Today's sponsor makes a product called C60 EVO. I'm promoting it because it's part of my daily routine. Why? Because with 1 teaspoon of C60 EVO in the morning, I've noticed an improvement in my mental focus, in my energy, and I'm even sleeping better at night. And it's a known antioxidant, 172 times more powerful than vitamin C. Take advantage of my code under the description and get an additional 10% off.
How do you feel about the Ministry of Truth?
This is the kind of thing that you see in dictatorships, this Ministry of Truth, this Department of Propaganda that the Biden administration has just stood up. And the reason why you see this in dictatorships is because they're afraid of us. They're afraid of the people. They're afraid that we might actually think for ourselves. And so now they've created this body that will do two things. Number one, it'll use taxpayer dollars to work through the mainstream media and flood the airwaves with whatever their propaganda narrative is that they're pushing at any given time and try to drown out anyone with alternate views. And number two, they will silence dissenting voices through intimidation.
Right,
I think the thing to recognize with this, just real quick, is that this isn't something new. This is something that they have already been doing, that's happening right now. The only difference is they're formalizing it, making it official, which if there's a silver lining in this, it is they're revealing exactly who they are and why they're doing it, what they're trying to accomplish. And it allows us, the American people, to stand up and say, hey, you know what? We're not going to let you get away with this crap. We will take a stand, we will reject it, and we will throw out of office those who are continuing to push and propagate this undemocratic, anti-free speech mission.
All I want is to be left alone in my average home.
I like what Tulsi Gabbard said here. No, I don't trust Tulsi Gabbard. Yeah, I can see why a whole lot of people like her. She seems pretty measured in a lot of things that she says and how she says it. She said, at Elon Musk, the fearful, I don't know if you guys know this, but the reason people put a space or a period before at on Twitter is because if you just start out with the @ it just goes to them and then people won't see it on your feed. I don't know if you knew that. The fearful, hysterical reaction by those in power and their MSM mainstream media mouthpieces to all Americans being allowed to exercise our freedom of speech exposes their tyrannical tendencies, their fear of the American people, and their hate for our Constitution/Bill of Rights. To which I would agree. But if you look at TulsiGabbard.com, and not but I agree, and if you look at TulsiGabbard.com, this person who's concerned about people hating our Constitution and our Bill of Rights and fearing the American people and our freedom and tyrannical tendencies, this woman right here wanted an assault, all-out assault weapon ban. The ban, not limitation, but ban of high-capacity magazines, or what they call high-capacity magazines, completely infringing on the right to keep and bear arms, which shall not be infringed. And she's more than willing to infringe on them while she hypocritically calls out, you know, the people who are against this Elon Musk Twitter takeover. I can't stand this kind of stuff. And then the thing that kills me is people are so unwilling to champion the cause of pure human freedom that when a Joe Rogan has a Tulsi Gabbard on her show, he doesn't call her to account for that, or at least try to get her to explain why the heck you want to do that. Because if you're going to ban an AR-15, AK-47, bump stocks, high-capacity magazine, rounds of ammunition, or whatever you're going to ban, do you realize that that ban put in place that creates a, quote, law, which is the opinions of politicians backed by the threat of force, but let's just call it a law because that makes them happy. You're going to create a law that's going to ban an inanimate object. That means anybody who has that inanimate object after that law kicks in and takes into effect, then that means that person automatically becomes a criminal, not just in the eyes of the state, but also in the eyes of the bootlicking society. So in essence, a law creates a criminal who's not really a criminal, didn't do anything wrong, didn't harm anybody, didn't threaten anybody, didn't steal their stuff, wasn't engaged in, you know, nefarious activities. So Tulsi Gabbard, who's literally an enemy of the Second Amendment, is calling out people who are literally enemies of the First Amendment. I agree with calling them out, Tulsi, but how about you? How about you? And people get pissed off at me. You're such a freaking purist. Well, this is hypocrisy. It's not that I'm a purist. It's like, what is the standard for liberty here? Dangerous freedom over peaceful slavery every single day of the week, man. That's what I'm for. Yeah, let people say stupid, cruddy, insane things. It'll make them easier to get caught. If they're engaged in criminal activity online, the last thing you want to do is suppress that and censor it. Let it roll. Somebody's going to make a threat, and we'll see some threats here in a second in relation to what people think about Elon Musk's takeover of Twitter. Let them talk. So people get so mad at me for not censoring on my channel. It's like, why don't you take this? There's several guys saying really, really bad stuff about little kids, and I don't take it off. Let the world see what you got to say. You know, truth fears no scrutiny. Yeah, it's nasty. Yes, it's disgusting. Yes, it's distasteful. Yes, it's upsetting and quite frankly offensive. But holy cow, if you don't have the freedom to be offensive, then you don't have freedom. If you don't have freedom, Tulsi Gabbard, to carry an AK-47, AR-15, fully automatic assault rifle or whatever, then you're not free. Just like if you're not free to say whatever you want to, on American airwaves or whatever, you're not free. The bootlicking society. Yeah, we need to stop being bootlickers. Here's what I wanted to show you. This is pretty interesting. Let me see if I can expand this so you can see it. These are some literal death threats that Elon Musk has received since, the rumors that he was going to take over Twitter. I'd give anything to be the one that gets to shoot, this person right here in his effed looking head. I want to be careful what I say because algorithms will pick it up and it's like, oh, Brian made a terror, but he made a murderous threat. I'm just for the algorithms, I'm reading real tweets tweeted to and about Elon Musk. Will somebody please this Elon Musk? This guy says, I want to blank Elon Musk. Well, time to blank Elon Musk. It should be legal to blank Elon Musk. I mean, it just goes on, and this is just a couple of examples. It says, daily reminder that billionaires should not exist. It would be cool to you-know-what Elon Musk by pouring molten gold on his gigantic, stupid rich boy head, all Game of Thrones, and you know what? That Emmer effer needs to, you know what? Guess since free speech and all, I can say I want to, you know what, Elon Musk. It's free speech, bro. I totally agree. It's free speech, bro. And it's disgusting, and it's murderous, and it's unacceptable in a lot of societies. But guess what? It should not be censored, because censorship is violence. Because when people say, oh, we can censor that, then they'll censor you, and then they'll censor the next thing, and then they'll censor another thing. And then the person who called for censorship is going to be censored. Censorship is violence. It's literally ripping out somebody's tongue and cutting off ears of people who want to listen. And when you cut out somebody's tongue, you're not proving them a liar. You're just trying to you're just proving to society that you fear what that person might say. And it might be gross, and it might be disgusting, and it might be something that's not acceptable in society, but you still don't want to censor, because dangerous freedom over peaceful slavery is the order of the day. I absolutely hate this, but a chance to you know what Elon Musk would be tempting. Can someone you know what Elon Musk already? Ugh, God. Why are they saying this? These people are not upset because they're afraid that they're going to be banned. They're upset because they fear that people who disagree with them won't be banned. So they are terrified of freedom, to the point where they'll issue death threats. Some fellow comrades are having their villain origin story today and will either become hitmans, or try to, you know what, Elon Musk for buying our app, or worse, become rich and buy it back. I want to, you know what, Elon Musk. Let's buy Twitter for $41 billion instead of doing any good with that money. Man, crazy to think he can do that while 14,000 people are going to be sleeping in their cars tonight in LA alone. Well, why don't you talk to some LA officials about that? Why are these people sleeping in their cars? Why are the officials in San Francisco extracting the San Franciscan tax cattle so that they can supply syringes for local, dope heads? Why is that going on? Why is San Francisco so bad in the streets that somebody had to develop a crap app because there's so many instances of human feces on the street that the street cleaners need to, it's a daily operation. Sanitizing the sidewalks because a bunch of people crapped in the street because there's so many homeless people out there. Why are people allowed to steal up to $950 in stolen goods and not go to jail? That's California for you. There you go. With all the crazy stated plans of the Great Reset, the currency reset, and even the food reset, it's not a matter of if the store shelves are going to clear and there's a lack of food. The question is when. You need to get long-term storable food. It doesn't matter if it's from me or you just go to the store and you buy food. Just grab dry, storable food while you can. If you want to get it from me, you're going to support the channel and you're going to help yourself out because my link has a discount code embedded within it. You can check that out in the description below.